Hello, welcome. I am Honey Marie Love, the Serenity Maven, and I am your intuitive healer and fearless freedom coach here at the Targeted Wellbeing Center. We are a virtual center that we are serving people around the globe, just like you. So welcome to today's challenge. Today you have registered and signed up for a 8-day challenge for highly sensitive people. And so if you identify with this, you are probably a highly sensitive person. Perhaps when you go out in places, you feel like you'd rather be at home, that there's just too much going on. Maybe when you're around certain people, you feel like your energy is drained. Perhaps when certain people walk in the room, you just feel like the life being sucked out of the room. Or perhaps the opposite. Perhaps when you're around high vibe and really positive people, and they walk into a room, you just notice right away, and you gel and vibe and feed off of those, the positivity that they bring into this space. And so if this sounds familiar, you are probably a highly sensitive person. And so I invite you to be open-minded, open in the heart, to receive the information that I am sharing with you today. And I also invite you to challenge. I am one that I offer you to, not just hear what I'm saying and take it first for what I'm saying, but actually challenge it, try it, use these things yourself, so that you can have your own testimony of whether or not these things actually work. I still challenge things all the time, and I'm surprised all the time. And every time I try to challenge it, it just makes me believe even more. So I definitely welcome you to challenge the things that you learn here. So this 8-day mini series, what we're doing is a chakra challenge. And you may be wondering, well, what is the challenge part of it? And the challenge comes in with the journal prompts. So I will be posting about a 10-minute video every single day of the week. Starting today, this is the first video, and we're starting in the root chakra. So I'll be sharing with you in just a moment a chart that we'll be going through the rest of this week. And then at the end of the 7 days, after the 7 days, and we've gone through the 7 chakras, and we'll go over what the chakras are in just a moment, we will have a live Q&A, and I will answer questions, and we will also have a session where I will teach you about energy healing and ways that you can to clear and maintain and up level in your life with energy healing. And we'll also have a live healing session. And don't worry, if you can't make it live, don't worry, the replay will be available. And there is no limit to the time and space that energy travels. So anything that you put out there, there's no limit. So don't worry about missing that or having to catch the replay of any of the videos or the live Q&A. But I definitely welcome you to join live. All right, we're gonna just take a moment. I invite you to sit back, relax, and focus. Now for me, what I do is I just close my eyes and focus on my breath and forget about all the worries and cares of the day. And I invite you to connect like this at the beginning of every class. Just take a moment, focusing on your breath. Beautiful. All right, awesome. Today we are going to be talking about the chakras. And if you notice, my energy just changed, and I did that on purpose so that you could see the difference between being grounded and focused versus just going out there. And so, and I spent a lot of my life just going. But I've learned tools. And as a Serenity Maven, you're probably wondering, what is a Serenity Maven? Why do I claim to be a Serenity Maven? And my kids would probably be like, well, you're not always peaceful, but you know what? You're a heck of a lot more peaceful now than before you learned all these things. And so as a Serenity Maven, you are an expert of peace. And you're either seeking peace, you've achieved peace, or you're desiring more peace in your life. And so as a Serenity Maven, I am here to help guide you and teach you and go within and tap into that wisdom that you have within you. And to add to that a toolbox to where you have your own Serenity Maven toolbox. And so learning about the chakras and bringing this information today is adding to your Serenity Maven toolbox. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for you. Thank you for choosing to say yes and up-level your life. Because as you clear and you activate and you feel and you are rejuvenated, your light will shine brighter and you will be a light out there helping others. And through your experiences, you can help others heal as well. So I invite you today to really just be open-minded and think about how these things, could they be really connected? And I can tell you that I have a personal healing journey. I spent over 4 months healing last year, over 2 months in bed, and over 4 months in my home healing. And I can tell you that even through surgery, I had more healing and more things healed from physical pain that I've been carrying around for 20 plus years through spiritual healing than I did through physical surgery. And for those of you that know my story, you know that was, it was amazing. Some of you guys followed me through that. And if you're part of the Serenity Mavens group, you have access to those videos where I went through that healing and I shared about that last summer. So I invite you to go through there and catch those replays because it's pretty powerful to see what I was sharing as I was going through that. But we're going to talk a little bit about energy today. And so where chakras come in, chakras are your energy channels. And just like you have physical development stages in your life through, when you have a child or when you were a child, when you go to the pediatrician, they're like, okay, we need to see you at certain points of your development. And we need to make sure that you're developing properly physically, emotionally, cognitively. But nobody checks to see if you are being nurtured and receiving that soul nurturing and that your essence is thriving and developing. And what is amazing is just like there are charts out there with physical and emotional and cognitive development, there are also charts out there with the development of your essence, of your vibe, of your chakras. And so your vibration, if you ever heard, you've probably heard these things, you might even have said this, where you talk about high vibe or, maybe hippies talk about vibes, and it's vibration, right? And what is vibration? And so vibration is energy. And so there's positive energy and it's high vibe, and there's negative energy, which is low vibe, and everything has vibration. And how is that measured? It's measured through frequencies. And so things like music have frequencies, essential oils have frequencies, and other things have frequencies. Even you have frequencies that you put off. And so when we look at that and we're like, okay, there's all these frequencies, there's high vibe and there's low vibe, then it's kind of like, well, how are we connected and how are these energies, how do they play out? And so one of the things I like to point out is the moon. Look at the moon and how it relates to the tides. It's physics, right? But you can't see it. But there's a definite connection between the moon and the tides. The other thing I like to point out is the moon controls the ocean, water, right? What are we made out of? Water. Are you harnessing moon energy and the moon cycles? Or are you out there just kind of being tossed around by it? And if you think about the tide and the ocean, when you think about you, are you being tossed or are you rolling with it? I invite you to do a little research on moon energy as well, because that is a beautiful space to tap into with your chakras and doing energy healing. And so we offer new moon healing and full moon healings for every new moon and full moon. And so you're invited to join us for that. And what we're going to do right now is I'm going to pull up the chart and we are going to go through this first one. Today's first class is going to be just a little bit longer so that we can get this foundational understanding of the chakras. And then I'm going to share right now about the the root chakra. We have 7 chakras, and they are color related, like the rainbow. And so our first chakra is our root chakra. Our next chakra, our root chakra is at the base of our spine. The next chakra that we have is the sacral chakra. And I know this is kind of funny, but the way I remember it is because it's like a sack, and it's kind of like a man's private part of the sack, but sack and sacral. I remember that that is the sacral chakra, because the next one is the solar plexus, and they both start with S. And so for me, I needed to have an analogy. So the sacral chakra, the sack chakra, is down here in between our belly button and our tailbone. And so it's in where our feminine energy is, where our masculine energy is. It's where our groin space, our hip space, and all of that is there. Then above our belly button, below the breast, we have the solar plexus. Then above the chest space, we have our heart chakra, we have our throat chakra, we have our third eye, and we have our crown. And we'll be going through each of those every single day. So let's go through today, and let's look at the root chakra. Okay, so we are going to share. All right, and so the root chakra. The root chakra is all about survival and things like financial health, family health, self-health. I'm going to ask you in this moment, how do you feel when you look at this red color? Are you attracted to it? Is it something that you don't want to get close to? What is your reaction? Are you attracted, or is this something that you are rejecting, the color red? And I'm going to invite you to journal on that later. Here we go with the root chakra, the first chakra. This is our first chakra down here, and it is associated with the color red. Now, sometimes if you are having trust and safety, and you have that desire for comfort, you maybe desire to get closer to things that are red. Or perhaps maybe you are rejecting the color red, and you may be having issues with trust and safety, but you may just want to be away from red. Or you could be craving it. But I invite you to be curious with how you feel with red. The root chakra is located at the base area of the spine and the genital area. This area of energy affects the birth and reproductive organs. And it also, the time of development is from conception through the first year. So you think about that, that's a little over a year and a half. And it is affected directly by touch. So if we think about, from the time you were born, what type of parenting style did your parent have? Were they taught the cry it out method? Did they let you fuss it out, or did they actually respond to every little fuss that you had? Did they pick you up? Did they nurture you? Did they pat you? What type of touch were you exposed to? Those things have a direct relationship to trust and safety. And it also affects our health. So the health of the birth and reproductive organs. So the health, and if you are a woman, it could directly affect your menstrual cycles. Another thing that can affect this, because it's from conception through the first year, is what your mother was going through. What was going on with your mother, around her? What was going on with her relationship with the people in her life, right? Including your father or other people. These are things that are important to understand, because as these experiences are built into those energy channels, it's important to know that you are not broken. That it's not like, oh my gosh, all this stuff happened that I didn't have control over. But this is a time to be open, be curious, and to be open to releasing these things and filling with love to heal. And so we'll talk about that more later on in the week, about how to heal. But right now, I invite you to be open, be curious. We're going to go to the journal prompt. And so be open, be curious. Be you, be love, be compassionate. And set the intention to receive memories, receive awareness, receive open opportunities to perhaps maybe people in your life sharing things that you weren't aware of. And setting that intention to receive those things in the coming days, in the coming weeks, and in the coming months as you propel on your healing journey. So again, welcome to the 8-Day Chakra Challenge for sensitive people. I believe that this program is extremely powerful. And I guarantee that if you show up with a curious mind, an open heart, that I will show up and meet you where you're at, and together we will help each other to identify and bring to awareness that wisdom that is within you. Identify those blocks and those areas where you're ready to heal. Identify your purpose. And if you're already in that space of identifying your purpose, stepping further into that purpose, up-leveling while you're on that journey. So welcome. I invite you to go out today, to be you, to be love, to shine bright like only you were meant to shine. And we'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to go in the group and comment after you've done your journal prompt. We'd love to just hear that you're done. And when you're done, you know what? That's going to encourage your fellow classmates to go do theirs too. So again, welcome. We'll see you tomorrow, and make today an amazing, amazing day. Bye-bye.